Let's talk about a truly eye-popping number, the paycheck for a top U.S. bank CEO. We're going to crack open the vault and find out what that number is really made of.
So let's just jump right in. Have you ever wondered what the leader of a top American bank actually takes home in a single year? Take a guess. You ready for the answer?
For 2024, that number is a staggering $39 million. Yeah, that's the peak compensation we're seeing for the heads of giants like JPMorgan Chase and Goldman Sachs. But here's the catch. That number isn't what you think it is. Not even close.
See, that's because it isn't just a simple paycheck they're cashing. To really get it, we need to break down what total compensation actually means in the world of high finance.
Okay, so get this. Of that entire $39 million figure, less than 3% of it is a fixed guaranteed salary. In fact, for most of these top execs, their actual cash salary is only about $1 million, sometimes a little less.
Just take a look at this chart. You see that tiny little sliver of the pie? That's the base salary. The rest of it, the whole enormous chunk, comes from things like performance bonuses and, this is the big one, stock awards. It means their own personal fortune is completely tied to the long-term health of the company, not just some weekly paycheck.
And, this structure isn't just for the absolute biggest players on Wall Street. It actually creates this really clear and consistent pattern that you can see all the way from the global megabanks down to much smaller regional ones.
So here's how it plays out. At the very top, you've got those mega banks, your JPMorgans, with total pay floating in that $30 to $40 million range. Then you step down to the mid-tier banks, like a Capital One, where the compensation is more like $15 to $30 million. And then finally, you've got the regional banks, where CEOs are still pulling in a hefty $10 to $15 million. So as you can see, the numbers change, but that fundamental structure, it stays exactly the same.
So all of this leads to the really big question, right? Why? Why structure these massive pay packages this way? Well, it all comes down to one core idea, the connection to the shareholder.
And that core idea is called shareholder alignment. It sounds a little corporate, but the concept is super simple. It's just the practice of linking an executive's pay directly to how well the company's stock is doing. The whole theory is if the company's owners, that's the shareholders, are doing well, then the CEO should be doing well too. It's a strategy to make the CEO think and act more like an owner.
And this isn't an accident. It's the whole point. As one report puts it, these pay packages are specifically designed to reflect board's emphasis on shareholder alignment rather than cash pay. It's all about the stock, not the cash.
Which kind of leaves us with one final big question to think about. When a CEO's personal wealth is so directly tangled up with the day-to-day performance of their company's stock, who really benefits the most in the long run?